So switching gears from Marvel and bodybuilding, like how did the YouTube thing develop? Did you just start wanting to vlog your journey and then it just took off? Like how did all that come together? And like how long have you been doing that?
I want to say almost 2 years. The first time I started was when I was prepping to get my pro card. So in my YouTube, I do series, and each series is like something that we're learning, something that I'm going through or working through. So my first YouTube series was the Road to Pro series, and that's where I got my pro card. And I had been wanting to do YouTube for a very long time. Like when I got into your group, but it was still like a year and a half later, and I still didn't have the courage to do it. But now, like, I could talk to anybody. I can do a podcast. I can talk to the camera, and it's like a piece of cake because I've had to practice so much. So I didn't even have, like, the courage. I remember setting up the camera and literally being,
what now?
Like, what do I say to the camera? I have a lot that I know that I know. I just don't know how to articulate it. Yeah. So I don't know. It took me such a long time to start, but I know that when I actually started was the right time because I was ready.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're like, you're wanting to push things so much, but honestly, sometimes you're not even ready to handle the thing that's coming to you. Yeah. And I think that kind of goes back to what we were talking about before, like things that start coming into your life. Sometimes they miss you, quote unquote, because you're actually not ready to take it on.
Yep.
Like your mental well-being is just not there. Like I wasn't ready, but that's what I started with the Road to Pro series, and I got a lot of people to follow it very quickly, and they loved it. I just took them through everything.
50,000 subscribers or something nuts like that.
Yeah. God, the next goal, I always have like numbers goals for like follower count. The next is like obviously like 100K, so I can get the little plaque. But that's my ego talking.
Oh yeah. Well, hey, that's a solid goal. I mean, that fits in that realm of that foundation of YouTube and stuff. But no, it's cool. I started watching them yesterday, and I was like, this is definitely. And I love that you do that. Like you really do let everyone into your personal life, and because I feel like, especially in today's world, it's so fake. And I feel like everyone's gotten so accustomed to just bullshit and fake stuff. Like the one thing that, and this is kind of unrelated, but it pisses me off more than anything, is when I go to watch like a video on Facebook or something, just scrolling through shit, and it'll be like, watch till the end. And then nothing happens.
Oh yeah.
Did that ever happen to you? God, it makes me so mad. They're like, this shit's crazy.
Throw
Watch.
his phone.
And then it's just like nothing, like it just ends and restarts. I'm like, what the fuck? I just waited a whole minute to see something happen.
Social media for you.
And people just like accept it. And then, kind of with like vlogging and rants, the one thing that I like that you're doing is like, you're actually active. You're doing something. You're working towards goals, things that people can share. There's a lot of people out there that just want to hear themselves talk.
Yeah. For me, it's like on my social media platforms, if I'm not teaching you something, making you better, then what am I for? Like I don't think an influencer, I think the word influencer has gotten lost.
Oh, yeah.
Because the main word in that word is influence. And if you're not influencing someone to do something positive or to change the way that they think about themselves or to just go after something that they're scared to do, then what's your job?
Yeah.
You're not an influencer. You're just a model.
Yeah. Well, it's one of the cringiest things I hate is, and it's really fun to do though, is ask someone that like when you meet someone, they go, "Oh, I'm an influencer." You're like, which is such a weird title to tell someone in public. But it's another when you ask like, "What do you influence? Like, what are you doing?" And then they don't really have an answer, and you're like,
"Yeah,
man."
A better question would be, "How do you influence?" And they'd be like,
"Start using that."
Blank.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like that's the motto for each thing that I do. That's why, each series has a specific goal. And while I'm taking them, I take them through all the mental crap that I go through. I'm like, body dysmorphia, gaining weight, how I'm feeling, how it felt to lose a show or how it felt to win a show, things like that, teaching them along the way. And my next series, we did the Road to Olympia series. And obviously like that didn't happen and that's okay. Yeah. The thing about me is that I labeled the Road to Pro series no matter what, if I was going to get it or not. It doesn't matter because for me, that's how I set myself up for goals because I know it's going to happen. I know I'm going to go to the Olympia. It's just about when the universe will allow that to happen, when I'm ready to accept that. And now I can see I wasn't ready for that. I will be. It's going to happen, not on my timeline, on the world's timeline.
Yeah.
So, Road to Olympia series, and now I'm doing a new one, which is called the Monarch series. So it's about like evolution, change, transformation, so like mind, body, and spirit. So each month we're going to be doing a month on mindset, a month on body, a month on spirit, and then we're going to, I guess, start another series.
There you go.
Something else. I haven't thought about that one.
It's one of the best things that you do too that I've always appreciated about you is you always remain very open and transparent, but you're also very humble too. Because I meet a lot of people that will have these big followings or, you know, this wide scale popularity. And I have a prime example of what you did one time that made me see it for what it was. Is we were in Dallas. We were at a Dallas show, and someone came up and they were just happened to be walking past you, and they said like, "Oh, I love your show, like your YouTube. I watch it all the time." And you like took the time to just sit there and make conversation, like and I remember you and me had just got done talking, and you were like in a hurry, but then you didn't like you were. It wasn't as big.
Oh, I remember. She was like waiting on the side, and I was like, I can feel her.
Yep. And I was talking to you. I was like, this person's been staring at you.
Yeah, I was like, okay, one second, give me a second.
Yep. And then you just, you took the time, talked to them, were like really friendly, and that's something that lacks nowadays. Like everyone's too fucking cool. Like they're too cool to talk to.
Too cool. The thing is like I ain't shit. Let's be real. I'm not shit. I'm just a regular ass human that does, I guess, a little bit of unordinary things. Yep. And that's what keeps me humble is because I remember being that person that didn't want to go to the gym. I was insecure. I didn't like who I saw in the mirror. I didn't know who I saw in the mirror. So the more that you can be attached to that person too, the more that you can be attached to where each person is individually in their life. And the fact that someone would come up to me, little old me, and have something nice to say and say that I inspired them or to send me a DM on Instagram, that's crazy. Never in my life would I have thought anyone would come up to me and say I inspired them to do XYZ. I inspired them to do a show, to stop binge eating, to go after that promotion. I never thought that I would be able to have that kind of impact, and that's why I take what I do really seriously.